It's been a little while since my last upload, but I'm going to be back with the monthly reviews shortly. Then in between those, I want to start covering some of the bizarre stories in the world of non-league football. And for this video, we've got two stories from over the weekend, starting with Southend's forgotten club, Southend Manor FC. They play in the Eastern Counties League Division 1 South, which is the 10th tier of English football. And on Tuesday, the 28th of October, Southend Manor FC were delighted to announce that Joe Connor has been appointed as first team manager after a short interim spell. They were full of praise for him and said they were excited to see him lead the team forward. Fast forward 4 days later to the Saturday, they were beaten 3-0 by Coggeshall Town. The day after, on the Sunday, just 5 days after being appointed first team manager with only one game in charge, the owner sent Joe a WhatsApp informing him that he'd been sacked and they would be looking for a new manager. He didn't even have the decency to tell him face to face or give him a proper explanation, just a WhatsApp telling him he's gone and will be looking for a new manager. The owner of Southend Manor FC is Jerry Amango, who took over the club back in 2019. And unbelievably, this isn't the first time he's sacked a manager over text. Back in 2022, he sacked James Wakeling by text at full time after a defeat, whilst Wakeling was still in his manager's office. He hadn't even left the ground, and the owner couldn't even go up to him and tell him to his face. After Wakeling was sacked in this way, 16 players walked out on the club, and 3 years later, the owner has repeated the same mistake, with the captain posting on Twitter announcing that he's leaving the club. I've seen a few other players posting that they've left and they're free agents, so there could be more to follow, and getting sacked by text 5 days after getting appointed really is unbelievable. Owner Jerry Amango is quite a character. Back in 2019 he took over the club, and just 1 month into that season, after Southend Manor had won only one game, he appointed himself as manager, but then came out and said he was only the manager by title and that actually Gary Pond and Craig Waters will be overseeing matters on the pitch. He's a very hands-on owner. He'll be in the stands cleaning up after games, but he's also been known to interfere with the playing side of things. Back in 2023, with 6 games left of the season and Southend Manor in relegation trouble, he released a statement accepting manager Jack Morris's resignation. He then went on to say that Morris had given a big effort and I thank him for that, but the last games we have been playing far too deep and too much long ball. I told this to the managers that I don't like it. Now, it's the job of a football manager to oversee the tactics and pick the team, and when the owner starts interfering with the manager in that way, it rarely ends well. Then for the owner to come out and publicly criticise a manager's tactics in a statement is quite unusual, and it's no wonder that under Amango's ownership they've cycled through so many different managers. So that's a bit of a glimpse into Southend Manor FC and their wacky owner sacking a manager after just 5 days over text. Now, sticking with the 10th tier of English football, let's move on to AS London FC, who actually play in the same league as Southend Manor, and they lost their manager over the weekend in quite bizarre fashion. After a 7-0 defeat to Rayleigh Town, the club posted this clip on social media after the game.
You gave up, you gave up, you gave up in the first half, you gave up, I don't know what you've been doing. Have you been drinking today? Because that was out there. And I know you're going to take that on the chin. So I'm okay with that. But that can't happen. It's not good enough.
So that was a little snippet of the manager berating his players after the 7-0 defeat. The 2-minute long video went on to get over 850,000 views, and it's fair to say the video got a lot of backlash. I don't think it's the content of what the manager is saying that's the problem. After a 7-0 defeat, emotions are high, and maybe some home truths need to be said, but a lot of people feel like what happens and what's said in a dressing room should stay inside the dressing room, and it shouldn't be filmed with a camera then put online to humiliate the players. Sometimes things are better left in-house, and it strikes me as a club posting their team talk on social media to try and get a viral moment and a few likes. The day after the game, it was announced that Frankie Sinclair had decided to step down as manager. So that is the video for today. Like and subscribe for more non-league content.